Hi, and welcome back to Football Made Simple. Old Trafford took centre stage as United and Arsenal played out a pulsating 1-1 draw thanks to goals by McTominay and Aubameyang. Arsenal may feel hard done by as they came out ahead on expected goals, but both Solskjaer and Emery used interesting and ever-shifting tactics throughout the match, so let's take a deeper look into them. And if you want in-game updates, stats, as well as news about your favourite club, you can do so through today's video sponsor, OneFootball. It's a great free app that you can download through the link in the description below. A quick reminder of the formations, as United lined up in a 4-2-3-1. Arsenal answered with a 4-3-3. Now, let's dig into the tactics, starting with what United did on the ball. When playing out from the back, United usually used a double pivot of McTominay and Pogba. Arsenal would start off roughly in their 4-3-3 shape, but would shift according to the situation. The use of United's fullbacks was key and determined much of the build-up. Young always advanced, and initially so did Tuanzebe. However, advance to this position meant that Pepe could use his spatial positioning to cover both Tuanzebe and Pogba, meaning that Torreira, who was assigned to man-mark Pogba in the build-up, wouldn't have to move out of position to do so. So, as the match went on, Tuanzebe instead stayed deep and wide during the build-up, meaning that Torreira would now have to break his defensive line to press Pogba, as Pepe would be wider covering Tuanzebe. When Pogba did roam to the right, Arsenal had good communication, and Guendouzi would take over and be the one to break rank and press him, as Arsenal recognised Pogba as the most dangerous ball progressor for United. By drawing Torreira, only Xhaka and Guendouzi would be left to form the mid-block, and to take advantage of this as the match went on, both Pereira and James would tuck in at times to overload the centre and look to combine. This was especially prominent in the second half, as Arsenal were chasing the game, meaning the midfield pressed, but often the defence wouldn't push up, so the space between the lines grew and grew, as the centre-backs were wary of the pace of Rashford and James in behind. Rashford would even drop into this space, drawing a centre-back to then receive the ball and turn and try to play in James and Pereira beyond. Fortunately for Arsenal, Lingard and Pereira were not efficient when they did get the ball here, so usually no harm came of it. But as the game grew stretched, Pogba would occasionally be able to break the first line of press and would be immediately running at the defence due to Arsenal's disjointed press. But even when off the ball, Pogba tried to use the man marking to his team's advantage, pushing high up, which would push Arsenal's midfield back and give McTominay more time and space on the ball. If Arsenal did sit deep in a 4-1-4-1, Lindelof would push into midfield to create an overload and draw a press to then create passing angles to pass the ball to the forwards. However, Arsenal's previously mentioned high press did pay off for them in the end. From the throw-in, Tuanzebe is pressured, leading to a sloppy pass which Saka pounces on, leading to the goal by Aubameyang. In addition, United's build-up shape left them particularly vulnerable to the counter behind Young, as on the counter he advanced higher due to Pereira tucking in, so he wanted to give United the width. But this led to a few dangerous situations for Arsenal where they would counter behind him, but didn't lead to any goals directly. Now let's move on to what Arsenal's attacking strategy was. Arsenal too wanted to play out from the back, however United wanted to press high up. To give them options to break the press, Arsenal used a double pivot of Xhaka and Guendouzi, whilst Torreira pushed highest. However, United's front three pressed strategically from out to in. The wingers would start wide from a press and close in, meaning that the pass to the fullback was closed off, whilst also applying pressure to the man on the ball as well as trying to close a passing lane. As a result, Arsenal were often forced long. But when Arsenal had the ball, they wanted to attack United's left-hand side. So to do this, they would start off many of their attacks on their left-hand side, with Guendouzi pushing the left-back position to allow Kolasinac high, or just providing a passing option. Arsenal would then shift left, drawing United as well. This would be the trigger for Arsenal to then look to switch the ball to their right. This is because, as discussed, James was aggressive in his narrow press, so Chambers would gamble and advance high up the pitch to try and create a 2 versus 1 against Tuanzebe, who often tucked in too narrowly. From here, the major play would be to try and get numbers in the box to then look to cross into. This is shown as Pepe and Chambers had the most crosses for Arsenal, but to no avail with both completing none. Chambers' gambling high up the pitch was risky due to Rashford and James' pace, and there were many dangerous counter-attack situations down Arsenal's right which they managed to avoid being punished for. But overall, again Arsenal suffered by playing Torreira out of position as the highest of the midfield three, as it's just not his game. Going forward, Emery may have to decide between Torreira and Xhaka at the base of midfield, to then allow Ceballos to take up the other midfield role. Overall, a tight match between two teams who will both be looking to qualify for the Champions League. But what did you make of the match? What could each coach have done differently? Let me know in the comments below. But that's all for today, and remember, keep it simple.